Okay, hope the coffee's hot and the seat is comfy. It's time for another NHCC Alumni Coffee Break. Joining me today is Beverly Rodriguez. She is a graduate from 2015 of North Hennepin. She is a police officer with Metro Transit Police Department. Current assignment, the Homeless Action Team called HAT. Beverly, welcome.
Thank you, Troy.
So there's a lot of kind of maybe mystery or, people don't even know what a Metro Transit police officer does. We got to start there.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, you're correct. A lot of people don't know about what Metro Transit police officers do. I get asked that question almost every day somewhere within Minneapolis or St. Paul. So basically, we're licensed police officers in the state of Minnesota. We are strictly assigned to what it is: the buses, the light rail train, the buses, anywhere Metro Transit runs. Like for instance, our North Star train that runs up towards Anoka, Big Lake, and any Metro Transit shelters. So anything that has Metro Transit on there, we pretty much cover. So if we have any issues on one of those, we'll, instead of getting the local police to respond, we respond to those.
Okay, fantastic. And I'm glad that you demystified that a little bit, because I have always wondered myself. And now you're on a Homeless Action Team, acronym HAT. That sounds exciting. Off camera, we talked about a cool story that recently happened, but tell us about HAT.
Yeah, so HAT is a specialty unit within the Metro Transit Police Department. It's a unit that I was assigned to last year. What we do specifically, we work with the homeless living on our transit system. So the homeless living on our buses and light rail system. In the state of Minnesota, the majority of homeless are actually living on our transit system. And if you don't ride transit daily, you wouldn't know this. But yeah, they sleep there day and night. And what we do is we come along, we get them into shelters throughout the night to sleep in shelters. We'll put them into permanent housing. So the Met Council has a HRA department where us as officers, as the Homeless Action Team, work strictly with HRA to get them into permanent housing also. So we work, step by step with HRA to get them in there. And yeah, it's been a really nice process. We've housed over 100, and so it's been really well. It's very rewarding. I was, how you mentioned the story. Well, I housed this lady over around Thanksgiving time last year. And she was one of my favorites because she was extremely appreciative. She, I found her on the 35E bridge. Her son was pushing her in her wheelchair. And at first she was very resistant. She didn't want to talk to police. And I explained to her I was part of the Homeless Action Team. I was going to help her. And she was still very resistant, although she did come along. I got her into temporary housing, and then eventually we worked with our HRA department, and we got her into permanent housing. So she ended up getting her own apartment with her son, a 2-bedroom. They were extremely happy. Her son was extremely happy, and they did a video for us. And she was just, towards the end, she just couldn't believe it. She didn't know how this happened. She couldn't see herself in an apartment anytime around the, when we actually did it around the Thanksgiving time. So she looks at me and she's like, "Officer Rodriguez, you're good in my book." And I just love that phrase. I can't ever get it out of my mind, because it was just so heartwarming when she said that. And it's a very rewarding job. I love doing it. I enjoy doing it. I don't see myself getting out of it anytime soon. So yeah.
And it's so much a part of who you are, Bev. I know that you are very involved in service learning. The Student Volunteer Club was something of real passion for you. You've always loved volunteering. You're so altruistic. You're one of the most philanthropic people I know, giving up your time, of your energies to help the community. That's probably one of the coolest things about the coffee break, that I get to catch up with all of our incredible alums. And I'm just immensely proud of the work that you've done. I'm not surprised at all that you've become a police officer, and a phenomenal one at that. And there's so much more to talk about. There's so many more exciting things. And so this is going to be our first ever second part NHCC Alumni Coffee Break. Officer Rodriguez wants to come back to us and kind of talk about COVID strategies, and we're going to kind of look over maybe the scope of her work as it speaks to that, because off camera, she was sharing some really interesting stories. So do stay tuned for part 2 of Officer Beverly Rodriguez's NHCC Alumni Coffee Break. We're out of time today, but I'm really very grateful, Beverly, that you're able to join us today.
Thanks for having me.
Here. I can't wait for part 2.
Thanks, Troy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be on this. This is awesome. I love what you're doing.
Oh, wonderful. This is a big honor for us. And folks, stay tuned for part 2 of Officer Beverly Rodriguez and her comments on COVID-19. Until then, we'll see you next time.